Hey everyone, this is Tom Sayer and welcome to another video on my channel. This weekend I came first place at the Tabletop Republic High Wycombe's OTS Championship, so hello to the beautiful light and dark Dragon Ruler mat that I won yesterday, playing Maliss, ad Ignista in the Alliance Insight format. I want to give some quick shout-outs first, so shout out to Dan Tape for some really valuable advice on deck building. Shout out to Dave Neary for judging the event and also lending me Perulias. And shout outs to Joe and Jude for always being great testing partners. Finally, shout outs to TTR in High Wycombe, the best locals there is in Buckinghamshire. So I played Maliss and my matchups were very representative of the meta. So I beat 3 Raizio Mitsurugi, 1 Pure Mitsurugi, 1 Maliss, and 1 Fiendsmith Bestial Raizio. So it was all pretty meta, to be honest, and I went 6-0-1 in the event overall to take first place. So I'll get into the profile right now. So main deck is 40 cards and fairly standard stuff. 2 Dormouse, 2 Rabbit, the best names in the deck before Maliss Here. 2 Chessie. I went down from 3-2 on this one, cutting Allure. I'm taking Dan's advice, again thanks to them for that. It's still a great card, but I realised that actually you don't want to open it to try and draw 2 early in the combo. You get to that later, and I didn't miss the third one at all. And then obviously through Maliss Here, this card is crazy. It just gives the deck everything it needed. It needed the 4th extra name, the extension that you get when you get interrupted on normal summons. You can add back link monsters from Banished back into the extra deck to summon them again. Just so many options it gives you. It's just brilliant. So you definitely have to max out on that, to be honest. And then the 2 field spell plus terraforming. I wasn't playing terraforming for a while, to be honest, but I think I'm glad that I play it now because I had some consistency issues at a recent regional, so it can't hurt to have that too. And of course, the card itself is generally much better because of Red Ransom these days. Goldsark, you got to play it. It's a great starter. And then Maliss in the Mirror. Everyone plays this, and some folks think it is not a great combo piece, others think it is good. I personally really like it. I think that Maliss having an in-engine negate is really valuable, and the fact that you can end on a half board with like Crypto with this sometimes if they full loss you, if your hard draw is often really solid, and going second is like an okay interrupt, and of course in a combo piece to add Maliss Here, it's just really helpful. So I'm a big fan of this card actually. And then because I am behind and lost, I played GWC main deck as well as MTP. Of course, this one is mandatory. You've got to play it in the main deck to have the interruption and the follow-up. But I just really like having this as an extra option for comboing. And if you're going second into boards, then sometimes hard drawing it isn't actually that bad. Yes, it's a brick by itself, but sometimes you're going to brick. And I would rather have this in the main deck to deal with stuff. The time effect did come up at least twice actually yesterday, so that also is a thing. But yeah, again, I just like having the options that it gives you. And then 3 backup, this card is custom, plus the wizard, of course. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can normal summon a hand trap, summon this, and its full combo is ridiculous. Wicked makes this a crazy card. I think I normal summoned it twice yesterday, and that was actually also a really great combo. So yeah, you got to play it again. Not too much to say. In the hand trap lineup, I mean, I think the hand traps are very flexible right now. There are, I think, no incorrect options within some remits. So I played main deck Ash Blossom. Again, Dan Tape recently played this in the side deck for a regional, and I thought that was an interesting choice because the argument there, they were saying that it doesn't really hit that many engines really hard, and then you want to just go first and Ash Charmy as like a go first card. To be honest, I disagree slightly because I think ashing Saji to search Ritual Spell is a really important interaction, and then again, if you're going first anyway, it's really solid, and you can add it back with Firewall as the best generic hand trap if you're doing Firewall stuff, so I think it's worth main decking. Then I play 3 Droll in the main deck. I don't like playing this card very much, just because I guess it's personal preference, and also it conflicts with Impulse. But I've realised that it is pretty necessary against Mitsurugi Raizio, and the half boards they make under Droll are kind of beatable. The reason that I was feeling like it was awkward to play Droll was because of these. I play 6 Charmies in the main deck. Perulia, I'm kind of convinced is like the second best card in the entire format. I don't really understand why you wouldn't main deck this one, and then full loss is full loss. Yes, this is more generic, but the fact that this is almost always an upstart at the very least, or will literally make some players pass turn. In my Fiendsmith Bestial Raizio opponent just passed when I Perulia'd him in game 1. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that playing things are mandatory. thankfully enough, I didn't really have that much conflict with Troll. I didn't see hands with like 2 Charmies and Troll, but I guess I got lucky there in that case. And then I played 2 Bristols, Magnum and Jerusalem. I hadn't played these for a while. I was playing Allure or some other consistency cards instead, but I'm actually really happy that I played these. In theory, of course, if you Bestial the Ame Murakamo Mitsurugi, whatever his name is, the one that is the good Regeki one, then that's a really good advantage swing. But also, yeah, they're still solid. As extenders, they're worse than they used to be because you've got everything you need in March Hare and backup these days. And I never went for lines using them as extenders because I can't Haggard in the extra deck, as you'll see later. But yeah, really solid options to play. Not everyone's still on Imperm, but I think in this deck, considering that you're playing Impulse, which is probably the best hand trap in the game right now, it's so good being able to destroy random things. I drew this off Binder once when I was going second into a board, and it was the only card that would save me. So again, some high rolling was going on yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I impermed in Ice, and the guy passed turn as well. So I saw some lists over the weekend playing Veiler, which is kind of crazy. I'm not a big fan of that at all. But yeah, I mean, I think this is still really worth it. The fact that when you go first, you draw into stuff to set is really nice as well. Yeah, it's just great. Big fan of all the traps there. Moving on to the extra deck. So I played Amaraj for the hand trap plus backup lines. Link ones are crazy, who knew? 2 Link Rebo. I've heard about people playing Link Devotee as like an extra Link 1 that you can give an extra attribute for access code, but that just doesn't come up for me at all. The fact that going second into Maliss, this applies so much pressure against some rogue stuff is also actually quite helpful, and yeah, just making it sometimes. I'm not playing Allied Code at Ignister anymore, and so the second one being in the graveyard to tribute the Allied Code off once you've used that interaction doesn't come up, but I don't know. I think I like having these Link ones. You've got to play Link Spider. Nibiru is flying around everywhere, and I just think that you're mad for not playing it because it lets you summon back up after you make this with the token and carry on playing. So you'll do that. And then Splash Mage Wicked, very standard. This you're making very early in combos these days. I was actually considering playing a second one because unless you put it back with Firewall or something crazy like that, you're not really going to have many ways to Link climb back up again if you get interrupted and then want to manage to just Link climb easily. Wicked is crazy. The fact that it can't be battle destroyed by itself is ridiculous because you can just leave it on the board sometimes and search even more follow-up in their turn. I never got to the Cyberse Wicked Bomber Dragon end board, which is really solid, but in theory that's great. I'm still playing SP. It came up once to Chainlink 1 SP, Chainlink 2 Druvis Worm to send Detonator, but apart from that it didn't come up at all. It's the best generic Link 2 in the game, but I think it's kind of being eclipsed in its value at the moment in the Maliss extra deck. On that similar note, play Dark and Cerberus as the other kind of tech options. I would still definitely keep this because it can search engine when it crashes, and you can reborn stuff in the mirror match, but also reborn Mitsurugi cards, which can be really solid. So I would definitely keep playing this. This is probably the only actual flex spot in the extra deck. This could be Typhon. If you're scared of Chaos Hunter, you play this, but you can also co-link this to Bomber Dragon so that your link monsters that are co-linked don't get destroyed by that effect. And actually, the discard to pop effect, generically speaking, doesn't come up so often, but actually it's okay as an option for removal before you get to access code. Then of course the 3 completely broken Link 3s. They are insane for a reason, and you never play more of them. I don't think playing 2 Binder is necessary. Yeah, there's some Castro Unicorn sometimes, but it's not a big part of the format. And then the Link 4s, Firewall, Access Code, and Bomber Dragon. I feel really weird about this card because you could make the argument that it's better technically play speaking than Allied Code. It is also my kind of favorite card name, like it just goes really hard. But I made the end board with Bomber Dragon twice or 3 times, and just every single time my opponent would just go like first action, X, Descent, Aggregator, and I'm like, sick. They drew the X. But yeah, I mean, in theory, the kind of mandatory blow up the board 3 or 4 times in their turn with March Hare and the Reborn and other stuff like that is really cool. It's just, yeah, I'm not convinced by this yet, I guess. Mandatory, of course, and Firewall, I added back Ash Blossom once, and I bounced their bodies and stuff like that. This is better if you can full combo with Allied Code. I would consider going back to the Ignister Link 5, to be honest. And then the side deck, I played 3 Meows. I wasn't on this for a long time, but I realized actually it's just so high value. The fact that you can skip Maliss turns and really make them scared to make a full board through this. People are saying, oh yeah, Maliss has got limited pushes, so you can play into the Charmies if you're in a mirror match, if you know it's Maliss, but I'm not convinced by that argument because they can draw Lanciers, and that can still hurt you even later in the turn, and they can get, imperms, impulses, Ash Blossoms at MTP. Like, there are more pushes than you would first see in the Maliss mirror if you play into Charmies, so it's worth it. Great against Rogue like Memento, it's okay against Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is going to give you like 1 draw for each Charmy, so it's okay. But yeah, really, really strong card. Doesn't need to be explained. Lancia, yeah, I don't think I Lanced my Maliss opponent at all. I just won in different ways, but that was fine. You've got to play it. Going first option, Solemn Strike, I think has come up once, and it still is great. Maliss and Rise Your players don't really know how to play around this. Like, you can negate the Link Summons, it's just so much value. And then I had this in the final, where I had to not use it for time reasons. But apart from that, it fulfilled the purpose quite well. And then I was still on the Thrust package with Gnomes. This card is so good. You can even discard it with backup if you have nothing else good to discard, if you're searching with that. Thrust is so flexible. You're basically putting, this stuff in, going second every single game, and then going first. It's just swapping this out of his Mitsurugi and then keeping anything else in that's good against Maliss. I resolved Harpies for like 2 or 3 cards twice yesterday. It was fantastic. I used to play these in the main deck, the Talents and Corpi, and I would still like to do that. I prefer to have them in the main deck because they're sucky one-offs, but if you see them, you're just going to win the game most of the time. But it's okay to have them in the side for, obviously Lancia. It's, as you can see, like, not the spiciest list at all, but I'm really glad that I made some changes for things that I was worried about consistency. You could play I Meet You, you could play Shifter, you could play some other random stuff on the side, but I was really well served by this list in general. Again, thank you very much to Dan. Their advice was really, really great. I had a great time playing. Shout outs to all my opponents as well, especially Jack in the final. I hope that Jack gets his invite to Euros from Nats, and I'll be judging Nats, so do say hi if you see me there. But thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.